Hey there, Commanders fan. If you're looking for good reasons to believe that the Washington Commanders will come out victorious against the Cincinnati Bengals, you're in the right place. And listen, I'll tell you right now, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, you're missing out on a lot of exclusive content like this. So go ahead and click that subscribe button, hit the bell to not miss any updates, and let's dive into this analysis that will make you even more confident for this Monday Night Football. Watch this video until the end, because this analysis is exclusive. Now let's get straight to the point. Did you know that the Washington Commanders, despite some stumbles, have been showing very positive signs? Last week we defeated the New York Giants. Yes, it was close, and we still have some issues to resolve in the red zone. But look on the bright side. We're 1-1 for the season, and Jayden, our rookie quarterback, is getting into the rhythm. And if you ask whether it's better to be in this situation now or in a worse one, certainly any sensible fan would accept this scenario. The team is adjusting its gears, and what's coming could be very promising. Now, talking about the matchup against the Bengals, many people expected Cincinnati to be in a very different position. But look, the Bengals are repeating the same old story, starting the season 0-2 and needing to play catch-up. This has become a sort of trademark for them. And as much as the team has incredible pieces, like the return of wide receiver T. Higgins, the truth is that the momentum isn't helping. The pressure on Joe Burrow and company is enormous, and this could be the little push that the Commanders need. And why do I say that? Well, this game has everything to be a watershed moment for us. It can not only be a turning point in the season, but a real culture change for the Commanders. The Commanders team is starting to show an identity, something we haven't seen in a long time, and a victory against the Bengals, especially on a Monday Night Football, can give that confidence boost the team needs to get on a roll. And the most interesting part, if we win, the two teams will follow completely opposite paths. Look how curious Cincinnati, which started the season as one of the favorites, could sink even deeper, while we gain strength to pursue the playoffs. Now let's get to the reasons why I believe we'll come out with the win. The first one is the deteriorated culture of the Bengals. We can't ignore all the noise that happened in Cincinnati during the offseason. They had problems behind the scenes, especially with their main wide receivers, Chase and T. Higgins. Both were kind of stuck, and so far, Chase hasn't even passed 100 yards combined in 2 weeks. And look, Higgins, even returning from injury, isn't guaranteed to play at his best level. Meanwhile, the Bengals' offense simply hasn't clicked. In the first week, they scored a measly 10 points against the New England Patriots, and that was with Joe Burrow healthy. Sure, they improved a bit against the Kansas City Chiefs last week, but still, the overall performance is far from convincing. And even with Higgins returning, he might not be in shape to handle a heavy workload right off the bat. In other words, our moment to capitalize is now. Another reason why I believe we'll come out victorious is the constant growth of our offense. Yes, we know we're still adjusting the machine, but things are slowly falling into place. Jayden, as I mentioned, is showing maturity beyond his limited NFL experience, and with the support of the receiving core and the ground game starting to work, we have everything to take advantage of the weak points in the Bengals' defense, which is still far from being that impenetrable fortress that many expected. And we can't forget our home field advantage. Paycor Stadium can be a hostile environment for opponents, but when the visiting team is in crisis, like the Bengals are, the pressure can turn against them. Just imagine Burrow under pressure with the Commanders' defense tightening up and the offense flowing with Daniels. It'll be a perfect scenario for us. The third reason why I believe we'll win is our rejuvenated defense. If you ask me which sector of the Commanders is the most promising, I have no doubt in pointing to the defense. We have a solid defensive line that has been putting a lot of pressure on opposing QBs, and against the Bengals, this will be even more crucial. With Joe Burrow still recovering from some recent injuries and out of rhythm, this is the type of game where our defense can shine and force crucial errors that will put us in a position to win. Even in the first 2 weeks of the season, the Commanders have shown potential, and it's no wonder they're in the NFL's top 10 for total yards per game. However, what we saw against the New York Giants raised some questions. The team advanced easily to the red zone, but stalled there. Unable to score a touchdown, they came away with the win. But there was that bitter taste that it could have been better. What does this mean? The red zone is key. We need to convert these opportunities into points. Speaking of which, what excited me most was the performance of our runners. Brian Robinson Jr., for example, has been showing enormous potential. But the feeling is that Eric Bieniemy hasn't yet unleashed everything he can do. Austin Eckler wasn't far behind, showing the agility we already know. And Jayden Daniels? With an average of 66 yards per game, he's getting there, and sooner or later, that ball will cross the end zone. But a strong running game alone won't be enough. We need the passing game to work, and that's where Cliff Kingsbury comes into this story. Kingsbury was hired precisely for this. To get the aerial attack going and transform Daniels into the quarterback Washington has long dreamed of. Against the Cincinnati Bengals, who so far have shown to be only mediocre in terms of points allowed, the Commanders have a great opportunity to adjust this aspect of the game. Their pass defense is good, but nothing our aerial attack, if well executed, can't overcome. The expectation is that this week will be the moment when the passing game will truly start to click. Sam Cosmi himself recently said that the offense is very close to breaking out. And, let's be honest, we're feeling like it's going to happen at any moment, so why not now, in Week 3, in prime time, with the whole country watching? This is Jayden Daniels' chance to shine and show that he is indeed the future of this franchise. And when this offense finally starts to click, the Commanders will turn those yards into touchdowns much more frequently. And what about our defense? Jonathan Allen, for example, is a player who almost left last year, but with the new team leadership, everything changed. The new general manager, Adam Peters, brought a breath of renewal. And with huge contracts, both Allen and Darren Payne entered this season with the pressure to deliver a performance to match. But so far, this hasn't happened as expected. But is this their fault? When you look closer, you realize that both have been consistently double-teamed. And with the lack of a truly dangerous edge rusher, opposing teams are right to focus on these two monsters in the middle of the defensive line. Joe Witt Jr., the defensive coordinator, has to be creative now. We can't go through the entire season with just one sack per game. That's unacceptable, especially against an offense as dangerous as the Bengals. Now, this is where the X factor comes in. How will the Commanders pressure Joe Burrow? The expectation is that Witt, along with Dan Quinn, the defensive line coach, will create something different to take Burrow out of his comfort zone and, who knows, force some turnovers. But even if that doesn't happen, this game isn't the type of stage where the Commanders' defensive tackles can go unnoticed. Allen and Payne haven't had that standout moment yet, but it's coming. And I say this with confidence. It's only a matter of time until Allen or Payne get a decisive sack on a third down or cause a crucial fumble. They're too good to stay out of the spotlight for much longer. Week 3, mark my words, one of them will have their best performance of the season so far. It will be a big play that will change the course of the game. I believe we'll see a more aggressive and creative defense in this match. Now, speaking of defense, many are questioning how long Jonathan Allen will stay with the team. But let me tell you something, he still has a lot to show. He's one of the top 50 players in the NFL, and he'll make sure to remind everyone of that. The team has the chance to show that they not only have a quarterback of the future, but also a defense capable of handling the big names in the league. So, to sum up, we're facing a unique opportunity to change our trajectory and put the Commanders in a privileged position this season. Of course, it won't be easy, but the Bengals are far from being the same strong team they were before, and with internal difficulties and some of their key players lacking rhythm, this is our moment to attack. If we do our job, we'll come out with the win and a 2-1 record for the season. Now tell me, fan, do you think Jayden Daniels will be able to handle the pressure of Monday Night Football and leave the field as the Commanders' hero? Or will Burrow and the Bengals surprise us and change the course of the season? Leave it in the comments and you know the drill, right? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave that like, because this season promises a lot and you won't want to miss anything.